Okay, well, that didn't work as planned. That's funny. So what happens is in the Ecamm Live, there's different scenes that you can put in whatever order, and when you complete one scene, it automatically goes to the next. Well, I didn't have this one in the right place, and which I'm going to move right now. So anyway, it is what it is. So Ecamm Live, it's all great. I'm just an idiot. This is a cool guitar from Yamaha. Okay. And this is the FSTA, which stands for Trans Acoustic. Okay. Now, what's cool about that is I do currently have this plugged into a direct box from Amazon that I got sometime earlier this year. And this guitar and the classical guitar right back here, which I'll pick up here in a second, these are provided by Zounds.com. They will be officially sponsoring some videos. And what that means is I can pretty much request any gear I want from Zounds and then review it and then send it back. And any gear that I want to eventually end up purchasing, I just, they give me a good deal on it and then I purchase it and then it's mine. So not all things I review is totally for free, nor is Zounds paying me to make videos on these. I just think they're cool instruments, and I've always liked the trans acoustic option and technology, so I wanted to try it out here on the channel. But I do have the option eventually to, what am I plugged into right now? What am I plugged into? I gotta turn this thing on. I can't purchase things when I need to or when I want to. Okay, what I'm hearing right now is let's see. I'm trying to get some volume out of this thing. Let's see what I'm doing here. I should be coming in on one of the HR channels here. Just kind of raise the volume up a little bit. Let me turn off the... Okay, we are panned. Let me fix this real fast, folks. I'm sorry. I am doing some stuff here. There we go. Let's adjust the panning. So I'm up and down the center. Then we'll adjust the gain a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll go back. So I'm doing all this through my board, through my mixing board. Okay, that sounds good. Now, I want you to notice something. I don't have any reverb going on in my on my desk here, the Yamaha TF5, which I'm slowly becoming I'm a Yamaha fan here. I got a Yamaha TF5. I have a Yamaha bass. I have a Yamaha Revstar, which I did purchase from Zounds.com. I did pay money for that. I just didn't get it for free. So there are a few different options as far as the trans acoustic technology goes. This one I just chose because it looked like a cool color and the body shape was not as big as like the full. I'm not really a good judge on body shapes as far. I don't know what they're called. I know like in Martin terms, there's like the Dreadnought, the OM, the Triple O. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know body shapes that well, but I do know for the most part that Yamaha has a slightly smaller neck. which can be good not only for kids or women, but just anybody with smaller hands. Okay, so if you do have small hands and you just can't get your fingers around like the thicker necks of like a Martin or I don't know, just any other acoustic out there, then maybe, just maybe, then the Yamaha stuff will be a better fit for you. Okay, I'll be sure to do proper measurements in a pre-made video here coming very, very soon. But today's stream, I just wanted to introduce you to the Trans Acoustic series and just talk about the technology and everything that it does. So I don't know if you're not really going to be able to see this, maybe, but you can see the little light in there. There's a whole entire circuit board inside the body, and it produces the sound of reverb inside the guitar. So I'm going to turn this. We have two different types of reverb. We have a room and a hall. We also have the chorus effect. And if you're familiar with like, I guess Line 6 products, or I guess tons of other products do this as well. The lower the setting, the less amount, and then as you turn it up, it gets the mix gets higher, and maybe the decay gets longer or something. I'm not sure. So that seems pretty short right there. Let me turn it down. Yeah, so I think the decay time of the reverb is the same. It's just how loud do you want it. So this is all the way up with the room. That's the mix. Okay, pretty good. Now the other aspect of any acoustic electric guitar, and you're like, Nathan, what is acoustic electric? I thought you only had acoustics in their electric guitars. What's this acoustic electric thing? So what's happening is they have a built-in preamp system on the guitar, and you can plug it in to a PA system, an amplifier, a mixing board, a recording interface, anything that receives high Z input signal from a 1/4-inch cable, and that makes it electrified. Now, there's another aspect to this. Typically there's a piezo pickup system of some sort that gets put underneath the saddle, so as the string vibrates, the saddle touches that piezo, and then it generates the magnetic current or signal, whatever it is, that goes to the output jack, and then that goes into your like I said, mixing board, recording interface, whatever, and that's how the sound is generated and picked up. So with all that said, I have a very old Sigma guitar that has always felt good, but the pickup system, it kind of has that a piezo sound is very metallic sounding to me. It's very high and tingy. It doesn't have a full bodied acoustic sound that that you would hear just by playing acoustically without it being plugged in, right? So this sounds pretty good. Yeah, so stuff like that. So now let's move it over to the reverb hall. This is going to be the low setting. Okay, and the hall is essentially just a longer decay reverb. Okay, so the room is going to be a little bit shorter. The hall is going to be a little bit longer. And we got stuff like this. So I'm going to turn the hall all the way up. Okay, so you can hear it's very reverberant going on. Okay, so I like it overall. Let's turn it about the halfway point. All right, cool. So, with all that said, we can just turn it all the way down, and I did see today in a YouTube video from another very well-known guitar player that Fishman released a Fishman Fluence acoustic guitar pickup that goes right inside the curve of the sound hole right here. You do have to attach a battery in there, which I'm not really sure how you get to the battery easily. That's always the issue with Fishman stuff, is like how to switch out the battery and all that. But typically in most guitars, I would say sub $1,000. I mean, there's going to be different situations for sure, but most guitars under $1,000. The pickup system is just, you're going to get that piezo-y kind of sound, and it's not a horrible sound. I mean, this doesn't sound bad. Right? We can always go in and let's say I want to EQ something, right? Which is where like actual preamps inside the guitar come in, because they'll give you mid treble bass, and they'll also give you like a volume and like maybe a polarity switch or something. But if I go in and cut maybe like let me turn off the one knob thing here. Let's go in and cut some mids around like 1K. Okay, then maybe I just turn that off. Turn it back on. So the goal is to cut a lot of that mid-range that we hear from the mid-rangey piezo kind of sound. So and let's say, for example, we maybe add some low end between like 100 and 200 hertz around there. Okay, I might be a little out of tune, but let's turn the reverb all the way off. Okay, now let's add in a chorus effect, which is about halfway up. That sounds really cool. Chorus always adds a little bit of width to the sound. I'm going to put on the desk mic here, which you can hear me tapping. I'm going to put it around the 12th fret, or maybe like where the typically a good starting point for miking an acoustic is where the body meets the neck or the fretboard. I guess the neck in this case. So let me turn off the piezo here, and this is just the acoustic sound. Turn this up a bit. So I would say, I think it's a great sounding guitar. I think it's in that $750-ish price range, $700 to $800, and you just put a mic in front of it and it'll sound good. Okay, if we move it over more toward the bridge and saddle, this is the kind of sound we get. Okay, right in front of the sound hole. So yeah, let me turn this back on. The area where the body meets the neck, that's gonna be a good balance between like low end and treble. That sounds good. Now going back to the piezo. Let me turn the EQ off here so you can really hear the difference. So back with the mic. Okay, back to mic over here. Okay, and maybe both. Let's do mic and piezo. Maybe adjust the balance with the faders a little bit. Okay, there could be a thing that's happening. Does this have polarity invert? I'm not seeing a polarity invert. Oh, there is. There is a polarity invert. Let's go here. Let's invert that polarity. Okay. So what's going to happen now is I'm flipping the phase. So. Okay, that's a drastically different sound versus this one. I'm basically just flipping the phase here. So. Okay, that one has a little bit more mid-range to it. And then now. I like the less mid-range of that sound. I would have to record it into a DAW and see if it actually like messes with the if the phase is just out of whack or something. But overall, it's pretty good. So let me know what your thoughts are so far on the Yamaha Trans Acoustic. This particular one is a FS TA. So there's a FS body style, which is what this is. There's also a FG, which is one of the older, it's not an older, but like it's been around for a while. You typically see the FG series for more like beginner priced guitars in like the 200-ish range, something like that. So let me bypass this here. Let me go ahead and also push this button. There's the button here in the middle. You got to push it until you see the light turn off inside, and which I didn't see. Okay, now it's off. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now this one, and let me just tell you this right here. I'm really liking the headphone microphone setup because I can just turn my head all around, and then the mic is always close and ready to go. So I'm going to push the middle one on this one. It's on. I got something in my pocket here, going jing-a-ling-a-ling. All right, so let's do a little something right here. We're going to do the opposite now. Let's put the mic in front of the classical, but I do have some hall reverb going on as well. So check this out. Okay, now it sounds cool. Let's turn that down. Let's turn it all the way down. Then I'm gonna want to turn on my direct sound here. Let's turn that all the way up. Okay, so there's the direct sound of the classical. So this might be a good option for those who do weddings and they need a direct solution without having to put a microphone somewhere in front of the instrument. So here's a little sound of the piezo style pickup. So. Now that I'm actually hearing this plugged in, because I want to do the stream for me, if anything, because as I'm reviewing these instruments, I really want to hear what the pickup sounds like. So, okay, hear that metallic-y kind of. It's like a. It's very much a piezo overtone. My daughter's trying to come in while I'm live streaming. There's a piezo overtone that is just inherent within the sound once you plug it in. So let me text my wife, making sure she knows I am live. Hey, man, I'm going live, fool. But let me know what your thoughts are in the chat over there. Because, I mean, there's tons, I mean, I would say millions of singer-songwriters, live musicians out there that are playing on acoustic guitars that, you know, may not have the best acoustic system or the acoustic electric system, you know, the best pickup system in their guitar. So I'm very interested to know what kind of guitar you have and what pickup system does it have. And whether that's a Taylor or a Martin or a Eastman. I mean, I have an Eastman acoustic over here that sounds pretty good. I'll also do a video comparing the transacoustic pickup system to the Eastman, because that's all I have at the moment. I wouldn't mind getting a Martin and a Taylor and like doing a shootout between like multiple different acoustic pickup systems and just guitar bodies in general. But okay, let's go back to the EQ here. Let's turn on my EQ and see if we can take out a little bit of the mid-range weirdness. Okay, I'm out of tune on this one. These guitars do not come in stretched or pre-stretched. So whenever you get a brand new guitar, okay, let me show you this real fast. This is pretty important. When you get a brand new guitar, go ahead and take tune it up to pitch, then take the string and put your finger somewhere kind of high up, and then just lightly tug on the string. Then work your way down the string, okay? Just in three different spots. So high, mid, low, high, mid, low, high, mid, low, high, mid, low, then high, mid, low, and then let's retune. What I'm using here, this is the Strobo Plus HD tuner. This is a really good tuner. It also has 1/4 inch inputs and outputs. So you can make it like a pass through kind of deal. What just happened? Here I am. Okay. All right, pretty good. Okay, I am plugged in. I think the guitar turned off. I think these batteries might be whack. Yeah, I think the batteries I put in are not good. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and check out the battery compartment. Now that I can't show you the sound anymore. So these come with a very convenient, but also kind of tricky battery system. So you got to push on this little button. And I'm not quite sure, like, you kind of have to do a hit or miss kind of thing with it. There you go. Okay, let me try that one more time. So you got to push down. There we go. Okay, so you kind of have to push just in the right spot. Then it pulls out, and it has a double A batteries there. Now, I don't have any extras up here. But I'll just go ahead and take these out. So I already put one in the guitar. Actually, the trans acoustic that I used at church on Sunday, or my the lead worship pastor used. I'm pretty sure these batteries are bad. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the batteries at this point. But just be careful the kind of batteries you use, and make sure they're fully charged and working. Because during practice, he was having some issues with the guitar that kept turning off, essentially, and he was like, "Well, this isn't good." So I switched out the batteries for him, and but with that said, if you don't have batteries in the instrument, you no longer have the reverb, nor the chorus, or the level display. So maybe for classical guitar, it's not a huge deal. I'm trying to get this thing out of the way here. So for classical guitar, you typically want to set it on your left leg, and then have the bottom down here. And I'm just wondering if it's plugged in. Let's plug it in real fast, see if it still works. It's like you definitely don't want to have a straight cable. Let me do this. A straight cable coming out of the end. You want to have a 9-degree cable. So otherwise, if you have a straight cable, it's going to be hitting your leg while you're trying to play. Ah, shoot. Yeah, I'm in a transition period right now. This is not the best. This is not the best option. Let me do it. Let me do it this way. You can kind of halfway see me. So yeah. My nails have always given me trouble. First of all, I bit my nails growing up. So if you're biting your nails, then stop it. Excuse me. Because I've bit my nails down to the quick, and where the pink part or the bed part of my nail is actually smaller than it should be. So that's not good. And then now I'm in a transition to where I've trimmed my thumbnail down, but you can still kind of hear, like, even though I can see it right now, like I can see the thumbnail. It wants to grab the string versus playing with my flesh. Okay, so I'm trying to transition to like no nails, classical guitar playing. See, but even at this certain length, you can kind of see that it's not super long nail, but the edge is definitely grabbing, and you know, it is what it is. So no nails playing is definitely a quieter, more rounded, more mellow tone. So I just use my nail and my thumb, and then Alright, something like that. So that's just a very basic tune. Don't be too impressed with any of that. I studied classical guitar back in college, but I am grossly out of practice. Okay, this one does have two side dots, so you know where the 5th and 7th frets are. And typically, if you can find the 5th and 7th fret, then you know, finding the 12th is pretty easy, because the classical guitar body meets at the 12th fret. So you always know where the 12th fret is, and then from there you just... I'm doing a poor job, but you can kind of see. I'm going to put this on the saddle area here. Okay, there's a song I like playing for a long time. Another one is this one, though I'm really out of practice with this one. So I've already messed up. You're like, Nathan, you're so bad, you should quit. So I probably should, but. Anyway, I think acoustically, this guitar, I mean, first of all, is beautiful. It's a beautiful guitar. I'm pretty sure it has a cedar top. It's probably a cedar top, yeah. They are made in China, which is fine. And very typical for classical guitars, the nut is a little bit wider than your traditional acoustic or even electric guitar. So the strings are spaced a little more evenly. And also like doing a little finger, like a finger roll kind of thing. And then when I strum with my hands, I actually do a finger flare, and then I back strum with my thumb. So yeah, something like that. So overall, very cool guitars. Let's go to the Zounds website. First of all, Aimer, welcome, my friend. I like to keep my nails level with the skin of my fingertips, just enough to get a bite of pick attack when I'm playing fingerstyle. Yeah, I can see that. So that's what's happening right now with my thumb. Is you can't really see. I mean, you can barely see, but like you can kind of see a little bit of nail going above the flesh of my thumb, and that's just enough in this position to where it wants to hit. Instead of being more flat and then trying to play with like the meat of my thumb, I'm playing more of the tip with my thumb. And then this hand is curled over to where you want to use the large knuckle of your hand when you're plucking strings, and you're not trying to like do like a hammer claw thing like you would on a banjo or something. Yeah, I think it's really nice. I have a classical guitar that I need to do a review of, and I will compare it to this one. So the other one I have is a little bit more expensive and probably more than I should have paid, but I wanted to get the feel of like a very high end or more expensive classical guitar. But I think for the money, this one right here is solid. Really, really good. So if you're serious about classical guitar, but don't want to pay the serious classical guitar prices, then I think this Yamaha is a really good option. And plus, you got the you can plug it in on the side. You can add some cool reverb. I don't see why you would want to add chorus effect to all that, but. You know, it is what it is. So let's go to Zounds.com. And let me know in the chat what you guys have been up to. I just got back from a trip from Dollywood over in East Tennessee. Went and saw some friends there. I'm actually wearing his shirt. My friend Joe Lee Stevens, he is now a full-time musician in Sevierville, Dollywood, Pigeon Forge area. He does his own solo show in Dollywood itself on his own stage with a cool picture of him and all his gear and whatnot. And then at night, mostly at night, he goes to the local bars and plays bluegrass and country type tunes with a full band with drums, bass, electric guitar, maybe lap steel or a pedal steel type stuff. Anyway, all pretty cool. So I'm really proud of him and was encouraged to see a guy that just really worked his butt off for years, finally getting some traction and doing his thing, man. I love seeing it. So if you're out there doing your thing and you're like, man, when will my day come? Just keep trucking along and just keep trucking along, man. That's all I gotta say. If you have a dream and a goal, don't expect it to just happen overnight, okay? But just be very diligent, be very steady in your work, and be kind to people, and good things will come. So let's look at some Yamaha Trans Acoustic. Yeah, I think we got it here. Now I'm going to disregard the higher prices. Let's go with the ones below 1,000. Okay. So the reason why I chose these two was they were below 1,000. So you got the FSTA for $779, and then you got the CGTA for $849. Okay, so what's the difference here? Okay, this has a CGTA. This is a CSFTA. Okay, this is a parlor acoustic guitar, so it's a little bit smaller. Let's click on this one. Yeah, parlor size. Deepen expander, tonal palette. Okay, cool. Let's check out the parlor. It's funny how the parlor is actually more expensive, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. Yeah, so notice how. Oh, I think I see. So this is actually just an acoustic guitar. It's not even a classical guitar, so that's definitely why. So this is more your traditional small body acoustic. Think of like Ed Sheeran when he plays his oh crap, what's the name of his Loudon guitars? He definitely plays a parlor size acoustic instrument. But these are nice. So you still got the one knob volume, then reverb level and chorus level. So if you're into the smaller body sizes, maybe you are either a child or you have a child or you're just a smaller person, then sometimes these parlor guitars can feel more comfortable to you versus like a big dreadnought from like a Martin or something like that. So interesting. Okay, let's go look at some of the other ones now. That I know what these are. So you got the transacoustic ones. Let's go here to the above 1000. So we got two different options. And this is a LSTA. What's a LS? That was $1,300 essentially. Premium wood, more tone. Transacoustic. Acoustic electric recreates that incredible experience without needing any external amplification or for effects. So they're talking about the reverb and the chorus type stuff. An actuator installed on the inner surface of the guitar back vibrates in response to the vibrations of the strings. The vibrations of the actuator are then conveyed to the body of the guitar and to the air in and around the body or guitar body, generating authentic reverb and chorus sounds from inside the body. Okay, that's cool. But why is it an L? I don't see why it's called LT whatever. Yeah. Well, this one guy said it exceeded his expectations, so that's good. Yeah, I have to dive in a little bit more on why it's called a LSTA. Because this one over here is the FS. Yeah, this is the FSTA, so this is a LSTA. I mean, maybe a slightly different body style. So far, I can see that the inlays are a little bit bigger, and they're also either mother of pearl or abalone inlays. So that's probably it. It looks like it has the same amount of binding. It definitely has a skunk stripe on the back, so it's doing something different. It's got gold hardware versus this one, which is chrome hardware. Yeah, I have to get on the website to see why this one is so much more expensive. Other than it may just have it may have a slightly better acoustic setup inside. Who knows? Amir says he has an Ortega family series classic guitar, which I love. Yeah, I think the Ortega stuff is really good. Let's go here. Let's go back to Yamaha acoustic. And let's see what some other options are. So the FG 830, which this one looks more like, see, this is more like your Martin style body shape. Has a little bit bigger, booty, if you will. And that's $429. So that's, by the time you buy this and then you wanted to add a pickup to it, you're going to be in the, $800 range anyways. Folk acoustic guitar delivers rich overtones and improves sustain. Great value. Okay, pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. I was reading some reviews on the APX 600 and how it sounds okay acoustically, but it sounds really good when you plug it in. So that might be something worth checking out if you're into that. They got the junior size, which is a 3/4 size, which is good for smaller kids. Yeah, so the folk acoustic is going to be more of your Martin, your Dreadnought style guitar. And for $369, that's not bad at all. Especially if you want something just to bang around the house, maybe for songwriting or something, and it still sounds really good for, put a mic in front of it for recording. One review says, perfect for beginners up to pros. The FG820 will keep you playing for hours, get a bright, lively tone from the solid spruce top and mahogany back and sides. So this is all solid wood for $369. It doesn't look like it's a laminate at all. The FG has louder and stronger sound in the low to mid ranges thanks to cutting-edge acoustic analysis technology developed by the Yamaha R&D division. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So the first FG series started in 1966 with the release of the FG180 and FG150. Over the 50 years since its introduction, they have developed and produced several generations of FG, all of which has made the FG the ideal acoustic for contemporary players. In all, there have been over 200 FG models since 1956 or 1966. That's crazy. Just different iterations. Every aspect of the FG is crafted to make a better quality guitar. Okay, cool. Andrew Collins, what's up? What do you think about Charvel guitars? Let's go look at some Charvel stuff. Maybe I'm not sure if they're on Zounds or not, but if not, we'll go check them out. I've never really played on one. Looking at the prices, this one's stout. Look at this. If you like that really relict look with the Floyd Rose. I'm not a big fan of Floyd Rose, but I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. This one's cool. This I think it's Buckeye Burl. Buckeye Burl. Yeah, those are good. The heel joint on Yamaha Yamahas. I mean, this is a Charvel, so the heel joint looks good. I don't like the big blocky neck joints that you get on Fender guitars, but this one has like a nice curl. It has a carve on the back, so you can really access those upper frets with ease. I would probably stay. I'll definitely stay sub 1,000 for sure, and this one's okay. I'm sure they're fine. I don't see anything that just like blows me away. I mean, I do like the finish, the sparkly finish on there. See this, anything with a bolt-on. Well, the other one was a bolt-on, but this bolt-on has a nice squared off edge. And I prefer the ones that have like more of a, they kind of carve all that out. But so far, from what I'm seeing, Andrew, I think they are what they are. There's nothing there that just makes me be like, oh, I have to have that. It's just one of those things. But I'm getting the Pro Mod Plus and Blue Burst. But why, Andrew? Why do you need something like that? This is a Pro Mod This is the Pro Mod. Pro Mod. Here's the HSS, which I kind of prefer. But once again, I'm not a fan of having locking saddles. Not saddles. Lock and nut. Now for $1,200 though, you get a hot pink guitar. I think that's pretty cool. Let me turn this mic off here. I think the pink guitars are neat. And the basses look nice. Yeah, I think as long as you stay within that $1,000 range, you know, they look pretty good. Here's a tele style option. Very interesting. I wonder if they have stainless steel frets. Really these days, I don't want to buy anything, especially electric guitar, if it doesn't have stainless steel frets. So it's just my own personal. It says frets 24 jumbo, but it didn't say anything about stainless or silver or not. Dome style, doo-ba-doo. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Amir says, what I like about Charvel is the way they keep the classic Strat shape, but give it some modern tweaks. Yeah, I would say Charvel is definitely a modified Fender type guitar, for sure. I can definitely see that. John Nathan Cordy was looking at Sire guitars, which Zounds also has. That's great. I need to put in an order for a few Sire guitars and check them out. So here's a Les Paul style, more like your Black Beauty type thing. And let's see, that's a nice neck heel right there. That's perfect. Gibson is great, but sometimes I don't like the big blocky feel of the neck joint. And that just allows you to get right up in there and access all those upper frets. Now, it's a hit or miss between like the headstock, if you enjoy the headstock or not. But the body looks okay. And it looks like it's a little bit thinner than a Gibson as well. So, the Zounds gear experts say that if there's anyone you should trust in your sound, it's Larry Carlton. Yes, okay. The L7 model boasts a classic maple top and mahogany body with a set of humbuckers. Okay, well, cool. I think for $549, if you're wanting something to play around town, oh my gosh, there's a gold top. See, I don't like the body shape. I think that looks weird right there. I'm not a fan of that. But if you're worried about your prized possession Les Paul getting damaged out on the road or at a bar gig downtown, then sure, buy a Larry Carlton for or L7 for $579. Looks like the prices just went down. It was $705, so they're knocking off about $120 off of that thing. So it's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking the neck heel. I'm liking all that. There's some other options here. You can get a really nice bass. Look at that bass. You got a big humbucker and a single coil top thing and a 4-string. $679, 3-tone. Looks pretty good. They also have an S7 for $705. This is more of like your Super Strat kind of look. A nice trim system going on. The headstock It's kind of crappy looking. I'm not a big fan of the headstock. Really nice abalone inlays though. That looks nice, especially with the darker wood, the darker fretboard. Yeah, that looks okay. Oh, this is your typical Fendery style, like block style neck joint, which is the way it is. Andrew says he has the Sire S7, so that's cool. The H7V. Let's check that one out. H7V. Did I type that in right? Sire H7V. Okay, I don't think that one's available on Zounds. There's a T7. There's a S7. I do like the look of that. That's not too bad. That's an HSS pickup configuration. Yeah, there's some good options there. So yeah, Charvel, I mean, it's definitely your modified Fender type guitar. And there you go. All right, guys, I am going to go cook some dinner for the kiddos. I'm going to play you out with this lovely Yamaha classical guitar. Now, one of the songs I really love playing over the years is the Leyenda. So. I already messed up. I messed up. It was really bad. You can hear the difference between my fingers with no nails versus my thumb with that one fingernail. It makes the bass notes stand out, but then it makes the top notes not as pronounced. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. Find a happy balance between finger and nail and all the stuff. So they have an H7 with normal humbucker. All right, let me look at the H7. Sire H7. Ah, yes. Okay, there's also the jazz box, which is cool. Let me go back to my my view here. So the jazz box is nice. I do like that. It's a cool look. If you want to get jazzy. There's also a tobacco burst, which is nice. And then you got a red, which is also nice. Yeah, I like all those. Those are cool. I'll probably get the red. I mean, it's pretty classic. Classic looking option there. Yeah, so the H7F. This one's nice too. Check this one out. It's got a nice trim arm on it with a wicked looking maple burst or curled maple. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that. Nice neck heel area. Nice finish. You got a nice glossy finish all the way around. Yeah, it's a classic guitar, and you got the Filtertron pickups in there. Ooh, I don't know. I might have to get one of those. Sorry for tempting me there. A semi-hollow body electric with hot LC, Larry Colton Filtertron pickups, and a G7 tremolo bridge. I'm gonna have to get with that one into the studio and do a proper review. That thing is just too cool, man. Now look at this one. You got the black with the gold. Oh my gosh. Don't tempt me. Do not. Don't tempt me at all. Don't, please. Just don't. Oh my gosh, no. No. I gotta get off. Well, I can't get off. That is too beautiful. Yeah. Okay, I see you. I see you over there, sire. Being all cool. Oh, man. Too many guitars out there, guys. Too many. And you can see all those were under $1,000. I mean, what you get today for under $1,000 is insane. It's just crazy. They all look great. I'm sure the pickups sound good. The finish is unreal. I'm loving the black and gold look. And, yeah. You could do some damage with that thing right there for sure. So, all right. Well, thanks, Andrew, for and Amir for the conversation today. If you want to continue the conversation, I need to announce this at the beginning of the stream, but I have a Discord server, which I will link down below after this live is over. And you can check that out, and you can continue the conversation over at Discord. I have different groups that are titled Tac-O-Bout, guitars, amps, pedals, digital maulers, live shows, videos, music, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to hop in and talk about anything else that you want to musically, then hop over there in the link, and we'll have some fun. So Andrew says, I know I always say in not going to buy another guitar, but I always do. Well, I'm not going to buy one right now. I'm in the process of selling off guitars. I need to sell off a few different guitars right at the moment. But Sire Guitars, I will definitely get some review units in from Zounds, and I'll show them off on the channel. And maybe when I'm done with the Yamaha stuff, I'll do that. So maybe let's just say Yamaha is going to be the October review instruments, and then in November I can do Sire Guitars. That would be really cool. They'll really force me to make sure I get some videos done on these and then send them back, so I'm not just keeping a bunch of stuff out and racking up my my review unit budget there. I'm not paying any money for this, but pretty cool stuff. All right, guys, I appreciate all the time and the comments. Be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell. And in the meantime, I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.